You're probably wondering why I'm in the dark. Well, today we're gonna be unboxing lights and showing you one of my all-time brand new favorite lights. Let's get started. Most people that you see on YouTube these days, they do these unboxing videos, but they're not teaching you anything. So we want to make sure that this is informative. These lights in here, I first used on our Extinct music video. They're called Quasar lights, and I was blown away by how amazing they looked visually. And I never really seen a ton of that. If you buy like the basic lights that they have out there, they have 2 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot light bulbs. And you're gonna see what they're gonna look like just a second. For a 4 foot light, and those are only $75. The lights that we bought though, you can actually change the color temperature. So for a 4 footer, you're spending about $200 more per bulb, but you can change the color temperature from 2000 Kelvin all the way to 6000 Kelvin. So what you're gonna notice here is it says Kinoflo. These are not Kinoflo light bulbs. That's a completely different company actually. Kinoflo bulbs are similar, but there's also some differences. But we bought a light fixture where we can stick the Quasar lights in a Kinoflo bulb fixture, which I just happen to have right here. So the last couple of shoots that we did a big thing for a rad Star Wars project that we're gonna be releasing hopefully within the next couple months. The Extinct video we shot with these as well. And because I was so blown away by these lights, by testing them out, I was like, we have to get these because they make a big difference. We got 2 4 foot bank Quasar light setups. We have a 2 foot bank Kinoflo set. We got 2 of those. If you're familiar with the cinema world as far as the bigger productions in Hollywood, Kinoflos have been a standard light for a very, very long time. One big difference between Quasar lights and Kinoflo lights, a couple big differences. With Kinoflos, you have to have a ballast. The Quasar lights, I can plug those directly into the wall and not have to have a ballast. With Kinoflo bulbs, you actually can't dim the lights at all. It's not even an option. With Quasar lights, you can dim them no problem. I can put them right on a dimmer and have no issues with that. So that's another big, really exciting thing about it. Now, let's see what else we got in the box. Cables. Your basic everyday plug-in. It's not really everyday because it looks a little bit more heavy duty and complex than that. We got some styrofoam with 4 individual bulbs. So this is what it actually looks like. It looks honestly like a fluorescent light bulb, something you would see in an office building, a factory. They have this knob right here where I can actually dial it in from 2000 all the way to 6000 Kelvin, where I can control that myself. Let's talk about CRI. Color Rendering Index. The way to think of this, and this can be a little bit complex. If you want to know more about this, I'll have it down below in the description, but think of it this way. We have a scale from 0 to 100. So let's just say we have an apple outside, so it's being lit by the sun. That's gonna be a perfect 100 as far as you're gonna see exactly the true color of that apple. The same thing with the candle is those are the 2 things that will give you a perfect rendition as far as 100 on the CRI scale. Now, they also rate light bulbs the same way. So for these lights specifically, they're rated at 95 plus. What that's saying though for us is these are fairly inexpensive lights with a very high quality of light that reproduces what a product actually looks like or anything that you're seeing on screen. Now, this is something that is 100% looked at when people are lighting anything. So let's just say something that doesn't really matter how good it looks. Let's just say you are driving down the street on the highway. You'll see a lot of big light bulbs and you'll notice that that color that is producing on the freeway usually isn't very flattering. It's usually kind of like this really gross orange look. And you'll notice the colors that it's hitting as far as looking at the cars, it actually doesn't look good at all. And that's because those are gonna be rated significantly less. I wanna say this is a filter to go on the light. And that is exactly what this is. When you get these, you're getting a 2 footer and a 4 footer if you order a 4 footer. So this would be the exact same thing, but meant for the 4 bank Kinoflo fixture. And we have another one right here. So all this is a fixture that I can put on the back of the Kinoflo fixture, and I can clap it on, and then I can use this to mount anywhere I want, and I can position it with the little mount right here. And these are more mounts. I'm guessing this is for the 4 footer, another 4 footer, and there should be one more for the 2 footer. All right, so let's talk a minute about these lights. I always struggle with specifically, let's talk about the 4-bank Kinoflo. Don't get confused, they are not Kinoflo lights. They're similar, but they are Quasar lights in a Kinoflo fixture. This actually brings me back to film school because it's been a long time, minus the last couple shoots that we've done, where we've actually used these on projects. Ta-da! And then you'll see right here in the back. Let me go ahead and sit this down for one moment. On average, the average circuit on a house can handle close to 2,000 watts. The older the house usually won't handle as much, but it'll be fairly close to 2,000 watts. So whenever you're lighting indoors or outdoors and you're plugging into a wall, general rule of thumb is that can handle 2,000 watts. This is gonna take 50 watts, close to it, pretty much almost identical to 50 watts. So if I have 6 bulbs, with this setup right here, this is gonna be 300 watts. This is a 650 area light. This takes 650 watts of power. So I could only put 3 of these on one circuit before I started blowing it. If I put 4 on, it would for sure blow that circuit. These light bulbs are actually really rugged, and as I was watching a bunch of other people's experience with it, these can handle a lot. I wouldn't drop it off of a building, it probably won't last that, but they are super sturdy and they're not gonna, I'm not trying full force because I'd easily break it if I was trying, but I can't really bend it or do anything with it. It's completely sturdy. But one of these bulbs, it is rated to last for 25,000 hours. When you buy a T8 light bulb, they come in 2 different color temperatures. They come in daylight and they come in tungsten light bulbs. The difference, minus the price of $200 from the T8, is this right here. Now with this is I can manually change the color temperature from 2,000 Kelvin all the way to 6,000 Kelvin. The big question then you're probably asking is, Devin, why did you pay $200 for a bulb that's gonna do something similar? Well, what this means for me is I don't have to buy a daylight bulb and a tungsten bulb because we do a lot of filming both kind of scenarios or setups. And let's just say I have this already on a light fixture hanging up above an actor and we have a crew or a cast of 30 or 40 people where every minute we are paying for, I can manually go up and just change the color temperature by just moving my fingers right here. And I can instantly, or not instantly, but within a couple seconds make that change compared to taking down the whole fixture and changing out all the bulbs. So we have the crossfade right here, and I have a Carnellini clamp, which is right here. Now, because these light bulbs are very sturdy and strong, what we have done in the past is we've actually clamped a lot of this stuff right in. But I'm gonna go ahead and just clamp this right here to our C-stand. So there's 1 pin right here, and then there's 2 pins right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and place this right in there. I'm gonna plug this in, which is just power, so you guys probably aren't too excited about that, but look. Now you're probably wondering, Devin, that probably looks a little funky. That's because the camera right now is set to daylight, 56 Kelvin, and this is set to 2,000 Kelvin. So this isn't gonna be very flattering at all. So this is as warm as this light can get. I'm gonna go ahead and warm it all the way up to 6,000, which is a little bit more than what's standard for the sun. I'm gonna go ahead and go to 5,600, and I can see everything right here, exactly what I'm dialing it to. So there you can see it, that's what it looks like at 5,600 Kelvin. But these lights, because they don't have much wattage going down, they don't get hot at all. So, I mean, I felt comfortable. What we've done in the past for our Star Wars shoot is we were actually setting these on the ground. So just like that, we turned off the 2 front lights, which were not Quasar lights, and now we have this light, which lights me up. Now, if you're gonna light someone, you're not just gonna use one Quasar light, generally speaking. So this is just an example, just straight up showing you what the Quasar light is looking like. It's right here, backlit, moving around. As I was kind of researching how people were using this light, a lot of people are using them for music videos. But I think like this is a really sick look as well. And we're doing all this with a $270 light. For anyone working on like a super small budget, let's just say you had $75, if you can round that up, you get the exact same look. You just wouldn't be able to change the color temperature of the light, which is why you're paying the extra $200 for the X-Fade light. Now I'm gonna show you the next setup, which is a 6-bank, and it's called 6-bank because it has 6 lights on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this on right now. So it is clamped on there. With this setup is I can tighten it, pull out, turn here, put it back in, and then I can spin it again, and now I can have it completely tightened. So that solves all my issues with my life. Okay, so here we have our 6-bank. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these. They essentially act as a barn door. Just a second ago, I tried to put this into here. You'd think it wouldn't be rocket scientist. And I realized you have to push in and then twist, and it pops right in. All right, so we're gonna power up this light for the first time. Things are probably gonna get overexposed, just FYI, here we go. Okay, so it's already set to daylight and tungsten. It's a mix of both. So the 3 lights, every other light is opposite of what it is. Normally though, if we're out on a shoot, I'm gonna set them all to the same thing. So why are you gonna use something like this? How are you gonna use something like this? I could use this in place of what we're doing right now for the window, and I can make it a lot more brighter. Recently, what we did on our Star Wars video is we were putting these up top on the sets, pointing down to make them almost act like they were other lights in the room, and it would sparse out or would evenly light the whole set. So here I have a dimmer. You can buy these for around, this was $110 from Film Tools. But now I can turn off the light, or I can unplug it, or I could turn it from the on and off switch. But here I can control everything from the dimmer, and I can also dim the light to exactly what I want, and I'm not changing the color temperature. We've been talking today about Quasar lights. We've shared a bunch of information on it. More than anything, the biggest seller for me was seeing footage that these lights were producing. The quality of light that these lights produce looks incredible. There you have it. Any questions you guys have about Quasar lights, I would love to do my best to answer them. I'll have a link down below in the description to the Quasar website where you can find out everything you want to. Thank you so much for watching. Over and out.